Oh no. I'm out here on the deck again and I've got some work to do in front of me. Look at that. What is that anyways? Look at those marks there. What those marks are from? That's from a bird feeder up there. It leaked. Our old one leaked and it dripped down here. It's just sugar water, so I'll have to rinse that off later. For the hummingbirds, we only had one hummingbird so far this season, but that has nothing to do with the project. Project has to do with this stuff here. Got a putting knife here. I've got a flat bar I'm going to use as a putting knife. I'm just going to hang on to that end and scrape this along. What is that for anyways? Well, got some steps here, and the steps failed last winter. If you've been watching my videos, I painstakingly floated all of these steps out at an angle so the water would come down kaboom, 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 because they were all kind of going back hill, back this way, and then they were running in between there. Everything got dry rotted underneath the stairs as well as the deck there. I made all kinds of repairs and I thought, nothing doing, I want to float all of these out. So I floated them all out and I made the mistake of using Fix-All. That's what I ended up using. I used Fix-All. Most of the time you're only supposed to use Fix-All on interior surfaces, like for leveling floors, floating out different areas, stuff like this. If this was inside, I never would have had an issue. But because it was outside, it got cold and it lifted and it started pulling away from here. And it said on the directions that if you use Fix-All, if you're doing it on the exterior, you have to put a weatherproof coating over it. And I thought weatherproof coating, two layers of primer, 2 layers of exterior grade paint over the top. I thought that would be considered a weatherproof product to put on Fix-All on exterior conditions. Well, apparently I'm wrong, because the paint all bubbled up, this all cracked and lifted, and so now I have to get all this stuff out. I've got to formulate a new game plan. Okay, and my new game plan, what is my new game plan, by the way? I'm gonna have to clean all this stuff off on all these stairs, sweep it all off, scrape off the paint, all that kind of stuff, and the caulking, all that. Take all that stuff off, and then I'm going to put, what do you call it? Thin set for concrete, for laying tile and stuff like that. Thin set and putting little lines in it. Thin set on the bottom, and then I'll put a very thin veneer, concrete veneer over the top of that has no sand on it. It's for feathering out floors and that kind of stuff, and I'm going to use that over the thin set because I don't think the concrete veneer will stick to actual wood. Now when I go to Home Depot, I'll look at it and stuff and make a determination, and maybe the veneer will stick on the whole thing, I don't know, but I've only seen that veneer used for concrete, to put the veneer over concrete floors, concrete signs. Let's say you have a sign monument that needs some work on it, you can use that veneer, concrete veneer mixture over that kind of stuff. I don't know if it'll stick onto wood. These are wood tracks, wood stair treads. Okay, they're like 4x12 pieces of wood, but the ones that they use glue lam beam material, 4x12s, because you've got 1 2x4 here on edge, one here on edge, one here on edge, one here on edge. You see them right here. Here's one, and it goes, and you can tell on each one. And I replaced two steps, this step here and this step here. These two right here I replaced with regular 4x12 material, and they were just the same, and it's filtered in you got stucco on both sides of this. And I want to make this whole thing waterproof, because before it wasn't waterproof. It was just wood, and there was cracks. There were cracks everywhere. Crack here, crack up against the stucco, crack against the stucco. And guess what happens when it rains, when it snows? The water sets on here and runs over and drips down in there, drips there, drips down and over there, goes underneath the stairs, can dry rot out your stair treads and make fungus and mold underneath, because I don't have any air for this, so to speak, to the outside, do I? Look at this. See, it's all stucco over here. And I know I'm going over a few things that I've already gone over before, but if you haven't watched the other videos, this is just a quick review of what's happening here. So when I get done with this, I want everything to go boop, 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 right on down here. The rain, the snow, when it's snowing and the snow builds up 6 inches, I want to be able to scrape that off with a plastic snow shovel or something like that, so I don't gouge into the paint or anything. And I want it to not have to crack and peel off, kind of like this, okay? Well, if you want to watch how I'm going to do that, stick around for this video. And I'm going to make a whole video series, by the way, on repairing exterior wood stair treads, something like that. I don't know what I'm going to title it just yet. I'm a little bummed that all this happened, but the good news, hey, whenever you have something negative, try to find the positive in it. And the positive in this is that I get to show you more videos on, if things like this happen to you, how are you going to fix it? How are you going to resolve this? How are you going to make sure that you don't use fix-all? Well, if you've been watching all my videos, you'll know now, hey, Joe says not to use fix-all on exterior. Now I believe him. You know, I thought he knew what he was doing when he was doing these stairs the first time. But, you know, hey, I do some trial and error stuff too. And that's just the way it goes. And now, here, I'm going to make the effort to fix it. So stick around and watch how I transform these stairs into something that's beautiful. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. And maybe when I'm not running the video camera as I'm doing this, I should wear a dust mask, because I'm feeling it all down my throat and all the way down into my lungs. So when you're working, goggles, earplugs, gloves, and if need be, a dust mask. See you next time.